In 1903, a 12-second miracle lifted us off the ground. And now, 120 years later, we're falling from the sky again. Air travel was once the pinnacle of human progress. Now, it's a silent battleground of shortcuts, sabotage, and strategic disaster. What if the crashes aren't just accidents, but calculated marketing moves that rewire our fear into trust? This isn't just a story about planes. It's about how far we'll fall to make people believe we're still flying. Your business could be perfect today. Your marriage, your kids, your health, secure. And then one crash, 1 second, it all disappears in midair with no warning. That's why this story really freaking matters. We all want control, stability, security, but aviation reminds us how fragile life really is. Every risk you take has a cost. Every decision, engineered or emotional, carries a weight. And sometimes that weight comes crashing down. Let's rewind. Before the explosions and chaos, before Boeing press conferences and TikTok conspiracies, before black box cover-ups and mechanical failures, to a cold morning in 1903, where two nobodies rewrote human destiny. Wilbur and Orville Wright. They weren't just pilots, they were broke bicycle mechanics from Ohio, but they had a vision so insane it cost them years of ridicule, debt, and obsession. Their breakthrough, not just flight, but control. They learned from death, not data. From broken gliders and bird wings, Wilbur studied nature and cracked the code, twisting wings like feathers to stay balanced. They built their own wind tunnel, they tested 200 wing shapes, they collected more flight data than any government, and after countless crashes, the damn thing actually flew. December 17th, 1903, 12 seconds, 120 feet, just enough to shatter the laws of nature, just enough to make the world believe. It was proof ordinary people could actually fly. The world went ballistic. Inventors, governments, and militaries, they all joined in. Flight became an obsession. Then it became war. Within a decade, planes were killing machines. War changed everything. Jet engines, pressurized cabins, radar. Pilots returned home and became legends. Aviation exploded into the economy. All of this came from the Wright's dream, but dreams evolve and then dreams die. So here's where it gets dark, because safety improved until it didn't. 2017 was the safest year in aviation. 2023 labeled perfect by the media. Not a single passenger jet fatality. And yet, something fell off. Like silence before a storm. Planes are crashing again, wings falling off, mid-air door panels exploding, pilots are dying mid-flight.
An American Airlines pilot died while flying a passenger jet from Phoenix to Boston today.
And nobody's talking about it. So what the hell's going on? Are airlines hiding something from us? Is this sabotage or strategy? Because what happens next will change how you see flying forever. You wanna know why planes are crashing? It's not the turbulence, it's not the pilot error, not some ghost in the machine. It's something way darker, and it's been happening right under our nose. Let's go back to 2018. Lion Air Flight 610. Brand new Boeing, clear skies, smooth takeoff, and then it nosedived into the sea. 189 people died instantly. No one knew why. It wasn't a bomb, not weather. The plane just broke itself. It forced itself to die. 5 months later, same model, Ethiopian Airlines, Flight 302, takes off, climbs, and then straight down. 157 lives erased in silence. Same plane, same flaw, same hidden system. MCAS, a silent assassin built into the code. Software that hijacked the plane mid-air, all to simulate a smoother flight. Why the hell would anyone design that? Because Boeing lied to everyone. They said, it's just like the old model. No need for retraining, no need for the extra cost. So the translation is, more profit, less safety. They didn't redesign the plane, they slapped on bigger engines, changed the flight behavior completely, then used MCAS to pretend it flew normal. And the pilots, they were never even told. There were no alerts, no training on the system, no clue how to even fight it. Just a machine turning on its own crew, and 2 entire flights paid the full price. But here's what should chill you. The FAA approved it all because they stopped regulating Boeing. They let Boeing regulate itself. So no oversight, no accountability. Boeing staff called their own plane clown word. Said regulators were like dogs watching TV. No idea what they were even signing off on. It was a circus. Congress investigated. Boeing was charged with fraud. $2.5 billion in penalties. The CEO got fired and then given a $60 million exit package. Think about that for a second. 2 crashes, hundreds of people dead, and the people in charge, they cashed out. They walked away clean, and the plane still in service. You might think that's the end. It's not. In 2024, Alaska Airlines, the door plug blows off at 16,000 feet.
It was just a piece of the plane.
part of the plane completely rips off in midair. Why? Loose bolts. Literally, someone forgot to tighten them. That's how fast they're pushing production now. One Boeing jet per day. This isn't about planes anymore. This is about business. This is about what happens when speed wins, when risk gets rebranded as innovation, and when profit becomes the god. Sound familiar? It's not just aviation. It's healthcare, tech, social media. Everywhere you look, the corners are being cut. The truth is being buried, and people are paying for it. Entrepreneurs, listen up. This isn't just a plane story. This is your business and a pressure test. Are you scaling with integrity, or are you chasing speed at any cost? Because here's the truth. Great companies die chasing market share. Boeing went from build it better to sell it faster than Airbus, and people literally died for it. The regulators failed, leaders failed, and the system rewarded them anyways. So ask yourself this: what systems are you blindly trusting? Because we're not done yet. This rabbit hole, it goes deeper. 2024 was the year that aviation crashed. 11 crashes, 318 lives gone. The safest era of flight shattered. Business leaders, pilots, engineers, everyone felt the tremble. Because if the skies aren't safe, who is? We're not talking war zones or freak storms. We're talking normal planes, your regular route, average weather, the kind of flights your family would board, the kind you book without second thought. That illusion, safety as default, was absolutely torched. Let's rewind to the December 29th, 2024. Jeju Air 737. Routine landing, normal weather, it skidded, flipped, and burst into fire. Only 2 people made it out. 179 families never saw their loved ones again. It was South Korea's worst crash ever, but not the last, not even close. Days earlier, a flight in Kazakhstan fell, shot down by mistake. Russia misread radar. A missile ended 38 innocent lives instantly. Then came the nightmare none expected. June 12, 2025, Air India 787 crashes. Dreamliner, state-of-the-art, nearly flawless history. It exploded into a hospital building on takeoff. Over 200 lives lost in minutes. That wasn't a budget airline. This wasn't a storm or sabotage. This was supposed to be impossible. A Dreamliner crashing in takeoff? At home? India mourned, the world froze, and Boeing panicked. So what the hell went wrong? Initial footage showed landing gear still down. The pilots called Mayday right before impact. No time to recover, no second chance. Even modern tech couldn't save them. That's what haunts me. This isn't 1985, it's now. How does a billion-dollar jet fail? How does a trusted airline misread flags? The system is broke and took the lives with it. And here's the part that burns. We don't fully know what happened yet, but all signs scream the same truth. Mechanical flaw, human error, corporate pressure, and a system that forgot fear. Boeing's reputation took another nosedive. Their stock crashed 5% instantly. They sent teams, promised answers, damage control, but none of that brings the people back. None of that makes this okay. The Dreamliner had past warning signs, battery fires, delayed deliveries, micro cracks, and fuselage, all resolved by 2022, or so we thought. But aviation isn't forgiving. You miss one flaw and it kills hundreds. And look, this isn't just about Boeing, it's about the whole damn industry, about how airlines balance cost and safety, how regulators get too cozy with manufacturers, and how tragedy becomes the only teacher. Let's bring this home for a second. You're a business owner, an entrepreneur. Imagine cutting corners to beat competitors, skipping tests, hiding your flaws, rushing launches. It works until it doesn't, until bodies drop. Spirit Airlines shows the pressure clearly. Ultra low prices, ultra thin profit margins. They went bankrupt in 2024. Do you remember that? No crashes, but close calls and chaos. Because when systems are stretched, the safety bleeds. Planes, they run tight schedules. Crews, they work nonstop. Parts, they're gonna wear out. The corners to get shaved, not from malice, from necessity. Every budget fear, you cut enough paper, eventually it tears. And when it tears at 30,000 feet, So, how do we fix it? Not with tech, not with the rules, but with culture, with fear and reverence. Remembering one mistake can cost, but every crash writes a tombstone in metal. You still think these crashes aren't preventable, aren't predictable, aren't systematic? Or maybe they're exactly what someone needed: a spectacle, a distraction, a story. Because in the next few minutes, we're going deeper than fear. We're entering something far darker. You think fear kills business? What if fear is the business? Because nothing grabs headlines like a plane falling from the sky. We started with the Wright brothers, 2 nobodies with nothing but a dream. They didn't chase money, they chased the truth. Built a wind tunnel, broke physics, they made history. They even risked their lives to lift the world. But today, we don't risk to fly, we risk so someone else profits. Every crash you've seen lately, It wasn't fate, it was funded. Planes don't fall from the sky. They're pushed there by cost-cutting decisions, by overworked crews, missed checklists, by companies that worship speed over safety, by leaders chasing bonuses over lives. Think that's dramatic? Ask the families of 346 ones from the 737 MAX, $1 billion plane. A $1 sensor failed, a software patch, rushed and hidden. Pilots weren't even told that it existed. It's not a bug, it's business. Boeing didn't just lose lives, they lost trust. And once that's gone, you can't build it back with parts. And what about the regulators, the FAA? Let Boeing certify itself. The fox guarding the henhouse? Innovation became unchecked ambition. Safety became a PR line, not a promise. And when the alarms go off, executives don't pull the plug, they mute the damn siren because delays, they cost millions of dollars. But a crash, that's just another press release. But let's get honest, this isn't about the airplanes, it's about every startup, every brand, every empire. The second you value speed over soul, you're flying blind in a storm. And you'll get away with it until the elastic snaps, until the flaw goes live, until someone you care about ends up 6 miles beneath the cloud. Creators do this too. You skip the edits, copy someone's format, ignore your gut, you chase trends until your channel crashes on autopilot. Success without integrity always implodes. You think this story is about airplanes? It's about you, your company, and your mission, your decisions. You're either building something that lasts or building something that crashes. The Wright brothers had no blueprint, no boardroom, no marketing budget, just courage and discipline. And today, that's the only thing that keeps us airborne. So look in the mirror. Are you selling flights or are you selling lives with wings? Because in this business, not crashing is a choice. So ask yourself, will it fly or will it fall? Because the difference isn't luck, it's the leadership, it's remembrance, it's responsibility. We started this story with flight, but we end it with something bigger. A simple truth. Arrogance crashes, but excellence endures. So listen, if you're like me and you want to see the world change for the better, hit that subscribe button and join the mission. And together, let's make a difference. Peace.